Hey everybody, Shark Scrapper. Picked up some really interesting stuff recently from my scrap yard that I buy from. And this was among a plethora of broken down, semi-broken down, and completely isolated boards. It looks like it's an element from a type of server where this is a tray that slides in, but it is also a server motherboard from the looks of it. Looks like a couple of CPUs here, so probably a dual socket server motherboard. Come on, let's dive in and see what we're dealing with. All right, now we got some Torx on this daughter card. Let's see if you're the right size. We have Torx and Phillips heads. How's that for inconvenient? Why would you do that? That's just cruel. Cruel and unusual. All right, so here's the daughter card. That went into all of those gold pins right there. Looks like there was a couple of these mounted on here. And this looks like a decent daughter card. Peripheral high grade is what I'm guessing. Let's see what's hiding underneath this heatsink. Oh yeah, that's nice. So we have a nice chip here. We have some nice components, densely populated on a green board. And even though there's no visible gold, I can tell you there's a lot of gold on this board. All of these connectors are gold-plated connectors, pins. So peripheral high grade. And then this goes in with the aluminum heat sinks. Now then, these guys. We're back to a Phillips head for those. Well, I think we are. This is a weird slot on this. It either wants to be, it kind of wants to be a Phillips head. It also kind of wants to be a flathead. Doesn't look like it's very good at being either one. So we have a copper aluminum heatsink. All we have to do to get these pins out is, so these are little C-clamps here, and you just take your screwdriver, hook it into one of the little slots. The C-clamp will slide out. Yeah, it's got to get it so that it will slide out. Right now it's caught behind the copper. It just got hung up behind the copper there. There we go. And when you get the C-clamp out, the pin falls off. So, like this one right now, it wants to come out that way into the copper. So you need to kind of scooch it around so that it is facing out. There we go. Come on, you. And you turn around. Get you out of there. There we go. Normally those just fall right out. Oh well, hey, a little bit of extra effort involved here. So now you have a copper aluminum heatsink. My yard buys those as ACR, air conditioning. ACR, so aluminum copper radiator, normally associated with air conditioning systems. My yard just throws them in with clean ACRs. This one, I'm not even going to try to use, because these screws are kind of screwy. They're better at being flatheads than they are at being Phillips. All right, we'll deal with that later on. Now we have, I'm guessing, some sort of Xeon processor here. Yeah, Xeon E5 2620. So Board Sort no longer has the Xeon buyback program, so those are just going to go as pinless CPUs. Yeah, let's get you back down so you're not flopping all over the place. All right, now, what's next? Oh, we got to get some stuff unscrewed. Let's see, I see some screws. Oops, that's not what I want. Now we're back to Torx. Let's see. Okay. Different size Torx all over the place here. That's just not fair. Oops. And now we need to get that out. We have screws around the back and the sides here on this part. That frees up this piece, which is cast aluminum. Now this side is open, but the board still doesn't want to come out because we've still got more screws hiding in here. All right, let's see about these guys. All right, so those screws were holding down some more. It's just plastic, but it was holding some stuff down in the way. And then we have a Phillips here. Ay, 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 chihuahua. All right. These posts are going through, there's some, so I think these were the brackets for the CPUs, so the brackets for the CPUs haven't come out. And I'm thinking, maybe you're the right size. Let's see. Nope, you're not the right size. How about you? Yes, you are. I have a couple of friends who are in the electronics manufacturing business. And I use this as an example for them on things they can do to make it easier to recycle. Use all the same screw if you can, or at least limit the number and types. If you're going to go Torx, go Torx. If you're going to go Phillips, go Phillips. Try to keep the sizes consistent so it's easier for people to take them apart at end of life. That may not have been doing anything. Let's see. Maybe you're the right size. Yeah. The other one was too big. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe this is the right size. Sometimes you get enough of it to turn it, even though it's the wrong size. So we've had 3 different size Torx and then some Phillips. We've seen this on another video when I was unloading a lot of the boards. We saw this board. So that's just shred. This board we saw when I was unloading. That was another video that I think you all got a chance to see already. But it was just a whole bunch of boards that I picked up. And this was amongst the servers that were in there. So get this unscrewed from the bracket. Really weird screws. They tried to make them so that they could be either Phillips, flathead, or sockets. And the result was that they really don't work well as anything. All right, so we've got some connectors here. It's probably the maybe some small hard drives, because those were in here like that, right? So there's maybe for hard drives, SATA type connectors, small. We've got gold-plated pins, we've got MLCCs, we've got some resistors, some ICs. So I'm going to put that in with peripheral high grade. Chris, yell at me if I got that wrong. All right, now we have something tells me that there's still a screw hanging on here. Ah, I know what it is. Yeah, we'll get the Kaiweets over here. And we'll get these guys done out of the way. I'll bet you this is what's holding it on there. So this Kaiweets is coming in really handy for these kind of for those thumb screw kind of thing, riser things. There we go. All right. Now we have a big old chunk of shred. And we've got a big old hit. I mean, this thing is heavy for its size. We've got batteries here. So there's a battery. There's a battery. Get those guys out of the way. All the RAM has been taken out. Dual small socket. And we'll go pop off a couple of heat sinks here, because Chris doesn't like to buy heat sinks if he doesn't have to. He's already paying me pretty well paying all of us pretty well for these type of boards. All right, so get those aluminum heat sinks. So here's what you got for a board. 10-ohm capacitors, some gold-edged crystal oscillators. There's one, there was another one over there. Bunch of ICs, BGAs, flat packs, more MLCCs, a nice chip here, another chip here. These small copper heat sinks, I don't worry about those. Chris isn't going to get upset about any of those. More chips over here, more flat packs and ICs. A bunch of MLCCs. Very gold-plated pins. Yeah, so real nice. Even the back of this board has ICs and MLCCs all over it. So this is a real nice dual socket server motherboard, small. And it was metal, but I think they're the same price, so I don't think it really matters. Well, let's check and make sure. Let's see, small multi-socket server motherboard, $3.45 a pound. That's, as of right now. Metal multi-socket server motherboard, $3.45 a pound. So some of you may be asking, well, why two categories? Well, because at some point in the future, depending upon what happens with the price of steel, Chris may have to adjust the metal socket server motherboard price. So that's why when you see two things that are kind of close together and they're the same price on the list, and you ask yourself, why doesn't Chris just make it one? It's because they know that historically one or the other of these categories may change depending upon other movements in metal pricing. So they keep it separate so they can make those adjustments later on if necessary. This board is a great example of the need to know your buyer and shop around if you have other opportunities. Chris at boardsort.com will pay me more for this board than my local yard. And even after I deduct the cost of shipping, which for me is anywhere from 75 cents to $1 a pound, depending upon how much, basically if it's a 50-pound box, I'm paying about 75 cents a pound with UPS using pirate ship. Knowing that even after I pay shipping, I'll make more selling this to BoardSort, I sell this to BoardSort because my local yard only has 3 categories, high, medium, and low. So I really don't do well selling this to my local yard. Now, they do have a corporate e-waste buyer, and I can reach out to him and I can say, hey, what can you give me for this? But I need to have a lot of them in order to get a decent price with him. And he still sometimes can't compete with BoardSort even after I pay the shipping. So again, it's very, very important to know your buyer and do a little cost analysis. And don't be afraid to horse trade a little bit. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I got a guy that'll give me X. I'd rather sell it to you, but I need you to come up to whatever price to do that. Can you do it? It's business. If they can, they can. If they can't, they can't. It's no big deal. It's business. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this one. There are links taking you to more e-waste scrapping videos, shark scrapper extravaganzas, and the little round one in the middle is to help you subscribe because you don't want to miss a single episode of this fascinating content. Have a great day.